Okay, class, today we're going to learn how to take an equation and find its inverse. All right, so with tables and the ordered pairs and all that, all you got to do is real simple stuff, switch them around. So we do have a switch going on here, but we're going to have to do a little bit of solving as well. So we got three steps here, okay? So first thing we're going to do is we're going to switch the x and the y. All right, they're going to switch places. Then we're going to change the y to the y inverse, which is y to the power -1. So anytime you see anything to the -1 power, it is an inverse. So y to the -1 is the same thing as 1 over y. All right, so we'll see that for later also. Then we solve for y inverse. All right, and that just lets us know that this is the inverse or the opposite to the original function. All right, so f of x, we should all know, is the same thing as y. So I'm going to cross this out and put y. All right, I'm going to use my first step, switch the x and the y. All right, so I like to say something different. I like to say y becomes x, and the x becomes the y. And that's because I have some students do this. They'll see switch the x and y, and they'll write 5y equals x plus 2. That changed your equation. All right, this is wrong. All right, all you got to do, the 5 stays where it's at. You just make that x there a y. Don't do what I just did on top there. Okay, so I see it all the time. Okay, so now we do that. Then our last step, second step, we're going to change the y to inverse y. All right, and then we're going to solve for the inverse y, which is this next step here. All right, and it's not hard to do at all, so we just do our solving techniques. I'm going to subtract 2 both sides. Done a lot of solving already. Minus 2. Okay, then we're going to be left with 5y inverse. And then I'm going to divide 5 by both sides. All right, and I'm going to get x minus 2 over 5. I'm going to check if 5 reduces with the x and the -2, and it doesn't, which just leaves us with y inverse. All right, and that's it. Okay, let's try this another example. This one we have a fraction in there, so like the slope, a little bit difficult, but we can handle it. All right, so again, we're going to change y to x. Y becomes x. Then we have -3. Write a better 3 than that. All right, over 4. And then the x becomes y plus 6. Change that to y inverse. And then we'll solve for the inverse. All right, I'm going to subtract 6 both sides. Let's cancel out. We're going to be left with x minus 6. And then we have -3/4 y inverse. Okay, and one of the ways of dealing with this is we're going to multiply by the denominator, very similar to when we multiply by our LCD, which it is our LCD, times 4 both sides. Okay, so these 4's will cancel, and we're going to be left with -3 y inverse. And then we're going to have 4. We can distribute this 4. 4 times x is 4x. And then 4 times -6 is a -24. All right, and then now I'm going to divide by -3. And I'm going to be left with y inverse equals 4x minus 24 over -3. This 4 looks like a y. There we go. All right. Okay. There's alternative ways of writing this without leaving the negative in the denominator. So we can discuss that further in our Zoom sessions. Example 3. Let's go on to that one. Let's see. Y becomes x, and then x becomes y. So we get a y plus 3 over 5. Okay, change y to inverse. Okay, and then we're going to solve this by multiplying both sides by 5. Right, so 5 is going to cancel. And then we're going to get 5x equals, issues with my computer here, stop. All right, y to inverse y plus 3. All right, then I'm going to subtract 3 both sides. Cancels that out. So we get 5x minus 3 equals y inverse. And that is all. All right, guys, so that's how you get your inverse equation from an equation. And you know that they're opposites of each other.